working with folks like Biggie, and then you have to mention Tupac at the same time. Now we in a day and age in hip hop where we're having a hard time keeping our artists alive. But can you speak to what the emotions were like back in those days when Tupac and Biggie both passed? How did that impact you seeing the streets take out two prominent artists?
Well, a lot of that stuff got amped up by, you had Vibe at the time. That was the only magazine you had. You didn't have no internet and nothing like that.
Yeah.
So you had the magazines and the streets.
Yeah.
And it's a different feeling. That eeriness feels a little bit different than now, because now you got everybody, they can talk trash on Instagram, all day long, and they can they get their energy out.
Yeah.
Sometimes something go down. Sometimes it's just like, they just talking trash. Where before you didn't have that kind of outlet, that platform, so you would hear it in the streets, and you would hear it here, and then next thing you know, all that energy, and you didn't have that much ways to track people, so it was nothing like that. So it felt more extreme when something like that happened. You really felt that in the environment. Like, not that you don't feel, dull for some people like that in the environment, because I think, Nipsey, of course you felt in the environment. Yeah. But it was a different thing because you wasn't as used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was
fresh. It was new.
That was the start of it.
Yeah.
That damn beats can really get people killed on rap records, So I think that was the other thing. Now you kind of like, oh, damn, he died, damn, it's messed up. But you're not as surprised as we were then.
When you look at the industry and you think about what it's morphed into, especially just even with Atlanta, you and JD coming out of the gate, making noise, and now if you don't even come through Atlanta, then you ain't gonna have a popping album. You got to have some kind of flavor coming out of this city. Yep. Was that something that y'all were working towards at that time? And then at what point was it that you felt like, hey man, this city is turning all the way up in this thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we started to feel a long time ago when people started coming here for us. If I got Madonna coming to Atlanta, standing there, we got Gwen Stefani, if I got, these people are coming to town, Will Smith, and we working with them, bouncing them around town, but they coming here for that. They coming here to see how do you do that, and what's that sound, and how y'all making it.
Yeah.
So we started to see that then, and it's like the same thing, man. Like when that one light started to hit on us, that light is still spreading.
Yeah.
It started, then it started doing like this. Now it's spreading, and it's still spreading, and it's still going this. But it's the same light that started all of this.
Yeah.
And giving us the outlets that we have now. Like if it wasn't for Gerald Busby and Motown and us having the outlets for Another Bad Creation, because the thing Atlanta didn't have was outlets. It was small labels like Ichiban or something like that. But you didn't have no major distribution outlet here to take your stuff and be, there it go. It wasn't in L.A. and New York, and you couldn't even get to a record company, So, now it's changed into even beyond what we thought it would be.
What is it that you think got to be in the record to make it touch the hearts of men and just people globally? As somebody that made global records.
One thing is just got to be a realism to them. Because a record is supposed to be something, a recording of an event that just happened to you. That's how it started. So, that's why country music or blues and stuff like that always sound like it's immediate. Most of the hits that you hear, they're immediate. Something happened to make them get that out of them. You know what I'm saying? So, realism is always the key. Like, how much do they believe you? Whether it's Who Dad Is or whether it's Hello from Adele. You believe who they're coming from each person, you know what I'm saying?
Coming into the game as a youngster and then having the longevity that you had, were there any things that shocked you along the way that you were like, okay, now I didn't know that all this was going on, or what was it that allowed you to be able to even deal with that stuff if you did see it? But were there any times that you were like, okay, I didn't sign up for this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, being in the music business, you start getting into the business parts and you be like, yeah, I ain't signed up for this.
Exactly.
It's a lot of, it's a lot of snakery because it's money.
Yeah.
And it's money that doesn't really have a rhyme or reason to how it's made or done or who gets it. You don't even understand half the time how you make it as an artist. Sometimes you're just like, oh man, they just like what I'm doing, and they don't understand what elements they like or don't. They just get it in general, and then you think it's always going to be there. That's the thing that Ken learned the most, is that You got to pay your taxes, like it or not.
My God.
And you got to know that this ain't gonna, the money that you're spending and making every week ain't gonna stay there. Like it ain't gonna always, don't care who you are, it ain't gonna always be there. You can save it and you can have it when you get older, but you know, and your records can generate it for you, but it's usually gonna be some difference in the way you're functioning at some point, you know, in your career. So you wanna make sure that you still think of stuff like that, you know.
What were the points in which your life changed? Like when you were able to go home and say, all right, Mom, you ain't got to work at This Is It no more because it's going down in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
What were those turning points for Dallas Austin?
When I got my first 50 grand, I told my mom, you got to stop working. And, you know, after I settled the deals I was in, like I said, the bad deals. And then once I settled it and got the money, then, you know, being able to get my mom a house, you know, and get her car and have her chill and know that, you know, I'm returning the favor that she gave me for those 18 years.
That's right.
That was a big tipping point in my life because I've been working, and she had been supporting me for the longest to be like, all right, I'm gonna support you, but you better do it.
Yeah.
You know, especially with living in College Park.
Come on.
You know, because I'll be out with everybody and still be trying to get to the studio all night and. You know, so I was glad to be able to say, see, you know, I was right.
Yeah.
About this and be good, and you know, so that was one of my biggest tipping points. Then getting the Grammys was another one.
Come on.
All these things that you see when you on TV when you're young, and you're like, okay, one day if I ever tend to make it in this business, I hope I get, because there's tons of people that don't get them or don't get, you know, those kind of awards and stuff. So that one was one, and then definitely. The Songwriters Hall of Fame was like a trip. You didn't think you could feel that surreal, you know, no more about something. It was a trip.
Because that's the top of the top. So when you get to the top of the top, was there anything left for Dallas to do when he got into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, or was it like, all right, y'all, I done proved the point. I'm about to go over here and cool out on y'all ass?
No, man, that's why I started the distribution company.
Ooh.
So we started. It's a year anniversary today, by the way.
Congratulations.
So, and we've had a lot of labels, producers.
That's a slick ass name too. That's a slick name. I'm with you.
You know what's crazy is they used to always call me Dad around here, Big Boy and them, like, because I always knew, you know, I would always try to tell them about country.
The game,
like, something, to switch the game. So like, Dad been to turn around Atlanta for a minute. That's been that way too. So I was like, damn, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I get to now distribute people's music and help them, you know, own their stuff. Help them, and I love it, man. Like we get so much music through, and I like to listen to music. So I just pick my days. I just go back and like, let's see what this sounds like. Let's see what that sounds like. That's been great, man. Just having a distribution company and having that next level of it. It's just a whole nother level for me, because record company is even one thing. You know, we still have Rowdy.
That's right.
But with DAD, we have tons of people, and children's books, and you know, artists from Cuba and Korea, and you know, so it's you sign up at home, so everybody's signing up whenever they want to be a part of it.